You and I have both played games where it feels like the character that we chose to play had absolutely zero bearing on the end of the story. And I don't know about you, but it leaves me feeling like I just got mugged for my dice. This is the tool that's going to keep this from happening again. This index card contains 3 character goals for NPCs your GM can use to tie your character inextricably to the big story that we're all trying to tell here at the table. A lot of GMs out there feel like they need to shoulder 100% of the creative burden for their games, and that's just not true. Now, maybe you're playing in a game and you feel like, I don't know, the entire adventure would have been exactly the same if you had decided you were playing Tom, the Rageaholic Spirit Instinct Barbarian, or Yay, the uplifted bucket of mop water. If you feel like your character choices don't matter, or worse, they're just irrelevant to the story in which you're participating, pause this video and get ready to write a few things down. Let's say I'm making a level 1 monk, and his name is, I don't know, I'm just going to call him Lucas Stonecrawler. Let's say he came from, I'm going to pick a random example with no connections to anything whatsoever. Lucas Stonecrawler is, he came up on a farm. So we're going to give him the background, farmhand. So now what I want to do is I want to create an NPC to go with this background entry. This is somebody that Lucas has interacted with at some point before he was level 1. That fits into his background. Why don't we make this other farmhand like a seasonal worker, somebody who came in recently, and maybe he's got a secret, some dark secret. Arturo Detu. That's the name we're going to give this other farmhand because that's the one I want to do. Maybe he's a little Frenchy. He's a farmhand with a dangerous secret. That's it. 5 words or less. My GM can certainly work with this, or not. I mean, it's not required. The whole point of this exercise is to give our GM some extra ideas, some things to work with that are relevant to our characters. If they want to use our ideas, great. It's going to make their stories better. If they don't, hey, we did our due diligence as players, and that's its own reward. Either way, let's move on to Lucas Stonewalker's short-term goal and the associated NPC. Keep it simple, keep it general, keep it quick. So a short-term goal, this is something that Lucas is looking to take care of fairly soon, maybe low levels, maybe within the scope of an adventure path volume. Bonus points if we can connect this to the background plus NPC that we just did in the previous example. So we know that Arturo D2 has a secret of some sort, right? So why don't we make Lucas's short-term goal, I don't know, maybe he wants to find out the guy's secret. I mean, that's pretty low stakes, right? Sure, why not? So now we need another NPC to link to this short-term goal. So the NPC and the short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals, they don't have to go together cleanly. We're just trying to give our GM NPCs to work with that are relevant to our character stories. All 5 of us around the table will have all these NPCs relevant to our individual stories. So this way we can populate the GM's world. Less work for them. How about some geriatric hermit who's living out in the boonies? Maybe he was an old war hero. It's safely generic. It's safely cliche, non-specific. These are the kind of things we're going for at this point. Let's call this guy something doofy. I like doofy names. That way I don't get attached to them. Ibn Woo Woo Shinobi. The GM can change it if they want. I don't care. Let's move on to midterm goals plus NPC. A midterm goal is something I like to think of as something a character just wants to get done, but there's no tremendous sense of urgency, something that might get taken care of during maybe mid-levels of adventuring. 6, 7, 8, that sort of thing. You can even look at it in terms of maybe after the 4th chapter in an adventure path. This is a goal that we want to address while the plot's going crazy in Act 2, like the big chunky middle part of the story. So I'm lazy. And at this point, all I want to do is find a midterm goal with higher stakes than my character's short-term goal. So if my short-term goal was we got to uncover the secret that this farmhand has, the next goal has got to have higher stakes than that. So how about, I don't know, our middling stakes are put a hurt on the king's men, cause some pain. Maybe our character just isn't into the city militia. I'm a farm boy, right? For the associated NPC, and apropos of nothing, Why don't we call our new NPC Countess Sleia of Calderon? Countess Sleia is in 5 words. Let's see. Loyal to the common folk. Done. We're moving on. Again, the NPCs that we are theory crafting for this exercise, they don't have to be intrinsically related to the short, mid, and long-term goals. I just find it's more interesting when they are, because the results tend to stack higher and higher and get more impressive as you get more, oh, I get it moments throughout the course of the campaign. So long-term goals plus NPC. So we can think of this as our character's high-level goal. This is something that's going to require a lot of resources and it's just going to take a lot of time to do. We're raising the stakes. So right now we're in sort of Act 3 territory of a story where we're coming up on the end of the campaign and things are getting resolved. So maybe Lucas wants to, God, at this point, what are some more goals? He can buy a castle, eradicate a cabal of Cthulhu-worshipping hentai priests. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It just needs to have elevated stakes from the previous 2 sets of stakes. So let's say that Lucas Skywalker, Stone Crawler, just wants to take all of the things he's learned so far and just blow something to hell and back. Maybe those are our new stakes. We want a really big boom. I mean, we've gone through between 15 and 20 levels at this point. We just want to take all the skills and feats and magical abilities and blow up a mountain or something. Sure, why not? So if we're going to blow up a mountain or blow something up, big boom, what NPC are we going to use? You know, something cool. We're increasing the stakes for each of our individual goals, and it only seems fair that we would increase the badassery of our NPCs. So what could be an interesting link to an epic explosion? Let's do a guard, somebody loyal to the king and crown and the soldiers, a municipal guy. And let's call him Duck Waiters. He's a samurai with a big grudge and a vorpal sword. Apropos of nothing. Nothing at all. So by this point, our index card looks like... So now that we're done, when I hand this note card to my GM, and all of us around the table do the same thing, collectively, we need to look deep into our GM's eyes and say, this is not homework. Use it or don't. I'm sorry for the Sharpie. Please don't stop inviting me to your games.